Hey guys, welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and today I'm bringing you a guide all about how to prepare for Rey Jedi training so that you're ready for Rey's hero's journey when it returns in the future. Real quick, if I were to estimate when the event would return, I would say that if it follows the Luke's hero's journey release cadence, it would return 104 days after it first happened, which would be around March 29th, 2018, or maybe early April. That being said, there's still a long time till her event comes along, but being prepared is important, especially for a character as strong as Rey Jedi training, and you want to be ready for her at any time because my return date is still just a guess. Before I get into the full farming guide for Rey Jedi training, because it is a long one, I want to briefly address the question of why should I farm Jedi training Rey, where is she used, and is she worth the effort? So as a hero's journey character, you know that she'll obviously be very powerful. She's brought a new shift to the arena meta, becoming the top used leader according to SWGOH.gg, leading 42% of all teams in the top 10 teams of all shards, recorded by that website. She's created a new viability for characters that have had less usefulness in arena as of recent, such as Rey Scavenger, BB-8, and Resistance Trooper. Arena is not her only area of expertise, however. She flourishes in the territory war, adding a new team to be annoying on defense and an offensive team that can take down large threats to help your guild past teams that block the way to new territories. In PvE, she pretty much destroys anything that territory battles can throw at you. I know personally I use her, BB-8, and R2 and two less geared characters, throw them into a combat mission and leave it on auto, and they have no issue taking it down 6 out of 6, even on phase 6. As for raids, Rey Jedi training has added new teams that can allow you to just auto phases 3 and 4 of the heroic AAT, and with the Rancor, she's pretty good in there, but not as good as say CLS or Zeta Han. But then again, who is? So now that we've gotten into Jedi training Rey and why she's worth farming, let's get into the farm itself. To farm Jedi training Rey, you're required to have 5 characters at 7-star. These characters are Rey Scavenger, Finn, BB-8, Veteran Smuggler Han Solo, and Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca. I'm going to break this video into 3 parts: shard farming, gear farming, and lastly, the time commitment. While some characters can be farmed relatively quickly, others require a much longer farm. In this video, I'm going to establish 3 tiers representing length of farm for these characters: small time commitment, large time commitment, and huge time commitment. To start with the small time commitment, we have 2 characters that fall into this category: Rey Scavenger and Finn. Rey Scavenger can be farmed from Light Side Hard Battle 2A for 12 energy, Dark Side Hard Battle 5D for 16 energy, Dark Side Hard Battle 7B for 20 energy, and the Guild Store at an exchange rate of 5 shards for 450 guild currency. Finn can be farmed from Cantina Battle 3E for 10 energy, Cantina Battle 5C for 12 energy, Light Side Hard Battle 7A for 20 energy, and the Guild Store at the same exchange rate as Rey, 5 shards for 450 guild currency. Now we move into the long time commitment category. We have Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca and Veteran Smuggler Han Solo. Veteran Smuggler Han Solo can only be farmed from one location, Cantina Battle 8G for 16 energy per sim. That's a lot of energy to get to 7-star. Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca is right next to his friend Han and can only be farmed from Cantina Battle 8F for 16 energy per sim as well. Now we move into the last tier, the huge time commitment tier, and only one character is here, and that is the little droid BB-8. BB-8 can only be farmed through the Pieces and Plans legendary event, which is restricted to first order characters only, and this requires you to have 5 more characters at 7-star to obtain all 330 shards for BB-8. I will quickly go over what characters you can farm for this event. Captain Phasma can be farmed from the Galactic War Store, which is some of the easiest currency to come by in the game, and you can get 5 of her shards for 400 Galactic War tokens. First Order Officer can be farmed from the Cantina Store, and because a lot of the characters on this guide are farmed there, you should have plenty of currency to buy his shards and get him to 7-star. Again, he has the same rate, 5 shards for 400 Cantina Battle tokens. First Order TIE Pilot and First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot, who I'll talk about later, are about equal in farm, the First Order TIE Pilot being a little slower. However, in-game, First Order TIE Pilot is far superior to First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot. He has a better ship, better overall abilities, and works better in a First Order team. He can be farmed from Dark Side Hard Battle 6B for 16 energy, Light Side Hard Battle 6D for 16 energy, and in the Fleet Arena store for 400 Fleet Arena tokens per 5 shards. First Order Stormtrooper is one of the best First Order characters, however he can only be farmed from 3 hard battles: Darkside Hard Battle 2A for 12 energy, Lightside Hard Battle 2B for 12 energy, and Darkside Hard Battle 9A for 20 energy. While his farm is difficult, if you plan to use the First Order and you want to gear them all up, First Order Stormtrooper is a necessity, so I would recommend farming him. Plus, even though it seems like a long farm, as we will see in the time commitment part of this video, he might just be one of the fastest First Order characters to farm for this event. Kylo Ren Unmasked is farmed from the Cantina on Cantina Battle 3F for 10 energy. This battle that he's farmable from is probably one of the best nodes for farming in the entire game, because you get a really strong character and also a really powerful ship to go with the character. I would set this battle to farm priority number 1 for Cantina just because of how good its rewards are. However, stay tuned to the time commitment section to see why he might not be the best for speed farming. Kylo Ren is another character that can be farmed from the Cantina battles in Cantina Battle 4C for 10 energy and Cantina Battle 6C for 12 energy. Kylo Ren would be my second highest priority after Kylo Ren Unmasked in the Cantina because he has viability in a lot of different places, and with his Zeta can be a very fun character to use. However, again, keep watching to the time commitment section to see why he might not be the best character for the fastest farm. Lastly, First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter Pilot is a little bit quicker of a farm than First Order TIE Pilot. However, his kit is much worse, and he can only be farmed from one place, the Guild Store, where 5 shards can be purchased for 450 Guild Store tokens. Now that we've gone through where to farm all the characters needed for Jedi Training Rey, I want to move into the required gear. Now, I don't want to get too deep into this, but I do want to give a brief overview of each character's gear, what it needs to beat the event, and what characters are worth getting past the minimum. For most events in this game, the bare minimum is that all characters across the board have to be gear 8 with good mods, and the event has to have some good RNG. However, for this event, there may be a few exceptions. I should say that I'm assuming all characters have decent mods, not god mods. If you have god mods, you'll be able to squeak by these events with probably less than what I'm recommending here. For Rey and Finn, I would recommend having them at gear 9 for an easy clear, and because they last the longest throughout the event. Finn also benefits greatly from a Zeta on his leader, which I recommend because it's very good for raids and territory battles and territory wars on offense, and will help you beat this event easier. BB-8 can be the lowest geared, and is only required for the first 2 tiers of the event, which are extremely easy. So BB-8 you could even get by having at gear 7, maybe even gear 6. The vets, Han can stay at gear 7 to gear 8 because he's only needed in 2 of the tiers, but unlike BB-8, his tiers are a little trickier, so gear 8 if possible. Chewbacca, I would recommend getting to gear 9 because he's needed in 4 tiers of the event. However, to get him to gear 9, he requires a stun gun, so I would keep it ready if needed and keep him at gear 8 and boost him to gear 9 if need be. As for the First Order, you have 2 options for the Pieces and Plans event to unlock BB-8. The first is to have all the First Order around gear 8 to gear 9 with no Zetas, or you can run a very poorly geared First Order team as long as you have a gear 11 Zeta Kylo Ren with solid mods boosting protection. Also to note that I haven't done this event with Kylo Ren Unmasked because he was a pay-to-play character at the time, so he might make this event easier, but as I said, gear 8 to 9 with some decent mods, it should work out the same way. Now that I've covered the minimums, here are the characters that you can get past the minimums without feeling like you've wasted gear, and those 3 characters are Rey, Finn, and BB-8. Rey Scavenger is an extremely powerful attacker, and under the lead of Jedi Training Rey, she's even stronger. So if you're planning on gearing Jedi Training Rey, Rey Scavenger can be run extremely efficiently under Jedi Training Rey's lead. If you want to gear Rey to gear 12, she requires 1,600 pieces of purple gear and 420 pieces of gold gear. This puts her at the top 18.4% of all characters for purple gear and top 31 to 60% of all characters for gold gear. The most common purple gear she needs is 300 Mach 6 syringes, 200 Carbantes, 150 stun guns, and 150 Mach 9 biotech implants. Also to note, for Rancor raid gear, she needs 2 furnaces and 1 Mach 6 Nubian design tech. For gold gear, she needs 150 Mach 8 biotech implants. Finn is the next character who's worth the extra resources. However, this is not only gear. For Finn, I highly recommend popping a Zeta on him, as I said earlier. It has been considered one of the most effective Zetas in the whole game and has use in so many areas of the game. While he has his Zeta, his gear level does not need to be very high to work well, but with that in mind, let's look at his gear to get him to gear 12. For purple gear, he needs 1,230, and for gold gear, he needs 310. This means for purple gear, he is in the bottom 25%, which is very good, and for his gold gear, he's in the bottom 40 to 13%, which is also excellent. So while he doesn't need to be geared too high, his gear is not too problematic. The most common purple pieces for Finn are 300 Carbantes, 100 stun cuffs, and 100 stun guns. For his Rancor raid gear, he needs 2 Nubian security cameras and 1 Mach 5 droid collar. For his gold gear, he needs 50 Mach 5 med packs and 50 Mach 8 biotech implants. Lastly, we have BB-8. BB-8 is not only a character I would recommend farming the gear for, but is a necessity to run Jedi Training Rey at her maximum potential. His gear is a little difficult, but his uses in the Heroic AAT, the Rancor, Territory Battles, Territory Wars, and Arena make him all worth it. So let's get into his gear requirements. For purple gear, he needs 1,210, and for gold gear, he needs 640. So for purple gear, he's in the bottom 22%, however for gold gear, he's in the top 2 to 9% of all characters in the game. His most common purple gear pieces are 300 Carbantes, 150 stun guns, and 100 Mach 6 thermal detonators. As a big note, he needs 5 pieces of Rancor raid gear, which include 2 droid collars, 2 Nubian security scanners, and 1 Nubian design tech. For gold gear, his most common pieces are 100 of the Mach 5 med packs, and as with what it feels like everyone in the game, 150 Mach 8 biotech implants. So now that all the gear requirements have been taken care of, we can move into the fun math to determine when you should start farming and how long it will take you to get Jedi Training Rey. Now all of these calculations are estimates and assume that all characters drop at a 1/3 rate from all nodes. This is also assuming that you farm each character one at a time from each place except for hard battles. So here are the calculations for if you did 0 Cantina refreshes every day, and all the math that I did to get this will be on the screen. But First Order Officer would take 91 days, First Order Stormtrooper would take 66 days, First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot would take 33 days, First Order TIE Pilot would take 35 days, Captain Phasma would take 22 days, Kylo Ren Unmasked would take 60 days, Kylo Ren would take 60 days, Veteran Han Solo would take 96 days, Veteran Chewbacca would take 96 days, Finn would take 28 days, and Rey would take 39 days. This would make the shortest possible time to farm all of the characters 220 days. Moving on to 1 Cantina refresh a day, First Order Officer would take 53 days, First Order Stormtrooper would take 66 days, First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot would take 33 days, First Order TIE Pilot would take 35 days, Captain Phasma would take 22 days, Kylo Ren Unmasked would take 35 days, Kylo Ren would take 35 days, Veteran Han Solo would take 56 days, Veteran Chewbacca would take 56 days, Finn would take 21 days, Rey would take 39 days, making the total time to farm all the characters 133 days. Assuming 2 Cantina refreshes a day, First Order Officer would take 37 days, First Order Stormtrooper would take 66 days, First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot would take 33 days, First Order TIE Pilot would take 35 days, Captain Phasma would take 22 days, Kylo Ren Unmasked would take 24 days, Kylo Ren would take 24 days, Veteran Han Solo would take 39 days, Veteran Chewbacca would take 39 days, Finn would take 17 days, and Rey would take 39 days, making the shortest possible time to farm 95 days. And lastly, for 3 refreshes of Cantina a day, First Order Officer would take you 29 days, First Order Stormtrooper would take you 66 days, First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot would take you 33 days, First Order TIE Pilot would take you 35 days, Captain Phasma would take you 22 days, Kylo Ren Unmasked would take 19 days, Kylo Ren would take 19 days, Veteran Han Solo would take 30 days, Veteran Chewbacca would take 30 days, Finn would take 14 days, and Rey would take 39 days, making the shortest possible time to farm all the characters 74 days. So now that all the math has been done, you'll see something very strange show up in the fastest farmable team. The fastest farmable team takes 74 days and consists of the following characters: Veteran Smuggler Han Solo, Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca, Finn, Rey, Phasma, First Order TIE Pilot, First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot, First Order Stormtrooper, and First Order Officer. Yes, neither of the Kylos are present in this list. This is because in the time that you can farm all the other characters, there are so many people in the cantina that the Kylos have to take a backseat to the necessity characters like the Vets and Finn. Although, if you have some time to spare, I would recommend both of the Kylos as they are better than say First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot and Phasma, but again are not faster farms. So to conclude, to get all the characters to farm Jedi Training Rey, it'll take you about 74 days, assuming a 1/3 drop rate, and also assuming you do 3 Cantina refreshes a day. This is also assuming that you are 0 out of 330 shards for all of these characters, which most people are not. So in the beginning, I estimated there's about 58 days as of this video's release date, so you better get farming. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took way too long to release because earlier in the week I had almost 3/4 of the video made, and then my computer crashed and I lost all the progress, even though it had said it had saved, but at least it's here now. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.